Hello everyone, and welcome to my solo RPG journal. Coming to you after a little bit now. I haven't recorded one of these in probably 2 months, almost 2 months maybe. Been very, very busy. I have played a little bit of... I've only played the one game so far of Frostgrave in Tailspire. But I've been doing a few other little builds for Tailspire, mainly around Frostgrave, which you will have seen. But I haven't. I've been so busy, I've been just not up to getting back into this. And so at the moment, I'm not sure where we are. So, jumping right into the story, or the recap for the story, we have Gabriel, our protagonist, arriving in the city of Flyer Ridge. He entered the city, founded a Merchants Guild where he found information in order to get a license for setting up an alchemy shop with the Merchants Guild. I'm starting to remember that in the last session, I believe we discovered that he might not need to do that. However, he, on arriving, found the Merchants Guild and found out that he needed to get an accreditation by a trusted alchemist or an already licensed alchemist to get a license so that they would then support his business. Found the names of 3 people, and his card in Dreamfall was harder to find, or going to be harder to find, than the other gent. I'm getting distracted, sorry. Card in Dreamfall was going to be harder to find because he often spent time in the dungeon or in the forest adventuring, as well as instead of just being around to do alchemy things. Keljeon was often in the town hall or the guild. I think that the thinking was that he got into the politics a little bit. A coarse statesman comparable to party, yeah. So he was doing a little bit more politicking than he was alchemy, but he was, as a member of the guild, doing things. So he would have been easy-ish to find, but theoretically, Essence was going to be the easiest one to find, and because Essence was always around the guild. Jumping all over the place. Essence is a poison maker who specializes in curatives. She tries to sell her wares, pushing people not to put themselves in an altered state. She specializes in fixing altered states and is very against the priesthood, who are in control of the city. So we're in the town of Flyer Ridge, which is governed by a theocracy. So basically the temple is in charge, or the priesthood of some god that we haven't actually worked out the details of yet, I believe. We have worked out that the priesthood, or the higher levels of the priesthood as well, are the Reborn. It's a group of people who have been reincarnating, or reincarnated servants of the god that they worship. So we've got that information. I believe that the guy that we were talking to was called Traran Duskbender, and he was quite cold, if I'm remembering. Stiff personality, at least comes off like that to Gabriel, and he's not keen on Gabriel and what he's doing, but he followed his job to the letter and gave him all the information that he needed. So we've then gone back first night, trying to just get information about the town that we're living in, the city. Heard a rumor about a vampire. The high priest has declared that everyone who must not invite strangers into their homes after dark, and if they are asked to, it is their duty to report it to the guard. So that's led some credence to those rumors, which I believe this becomes important later. There's also rumors about people disappearing. Had a bunch of adventures at the guild itself. It's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Had a drinking competition. Risked getting involved in a fight with some drunks that wanted to interrupt some ladies that didn't want to have anything to do with them. But dealt with that reasonably easily by getting his new guard friends involved. And went on to day 2, where we had no luck finding anyone. Couldn't find a library, just basically couldn't find anything that we wanted. On day 2, I think that I might have even done some alchemy and not done so well. Or was that day 3? Couldn't find essence. Yeah, so that was day 2. Day 3, we couldn't find essence again and decided to try and find some work. Went to the Adventurers Guild, Gabriel being a former adventurer, and joined up with a group that had taken the job to find a missing caravan. So we travelled to the city with a caravan carrying merchants' goods and travellers. And the one before the one we came on, the one Gabriel came on, went missing. So the Merchants Guild put out a job for the Adventurers Guild to find the caravan. We jumped in with the party that went looking. Got attacked by bandits. The guards turned up afterwards. The bandits actually killed one of the party, Patrick the monk, and took his body away, as well as one of the bandits that the only bandit that was alive at the end of the encounter. So rather annoyed, we went off, found the bandits' camp, dealt with them. Had to put out a fire that the sorcerer started. Searched the camp, found a bunch of stuff, went and found the caravan, dealt with the last of the bandits, and then went and reported it back to the guild. At which point, Gabriel, we're still on day 3. At which point, Gabriel turned into a cat and left the town, or tried to leave the town. Someone tried to catch the cat. Gabriel's not yet aware, or I think he might have heard that the Merchants Guild has a rat problem. They're trying to find a cat to catch it. Saw him as a cat, tried to grab him. So Gabriel left the camp, left the city as a cat, got back to the camp and looted it, grabbing a bunch of stuff in order to create a new identity for himself. So he needed some items, clothing, things like that in order to start off. So day 4, he's gone searching for essence again, and finding that everyone's actually very tight-lipped. So obviously something's happened. Essence isn't around, and looking for her, he has decided to. He's decided that she's basically gone missing, and gone to his dwarven friend Hornum, the guard captain, or the leader of the group of guard that he went drinking with on night one at the tavern, and talked to him. So he's discovered that they suspect that a vampire has abducted Essence as the latest victim, but there were another few more. I thought the number was 3, I worked out. In any case, Hornum tried to talk Gabriel out of looking for Essence. He did say that he had heard that Gabriel had helped out finding the caravan, and so he said that if he could help out, then he would let him know. At which point, Gabriel went back, or disappeared, and decided to adopt his new form, who I went through and I rolled up a new form for here, and I'm just looking for my notes. Here we go. Helestina, the female elf. So Gabriel I should say when I'm taking a drink. So Gabriel, when I started this game, I'd actually started this particular game once before as a level 1 character. Didn't get very far, mainly out of just playing solo RPGs myself. But one thing I sort of realized when I wanted to try and get back into this and start it again was that Dungeons and Dragons being built as essentially a one-player war game, or a one character per player war game, the way it's built around combat is not quite the game that I was wanting to play. I picked up 3.5 instead of 5th Ed because I wanted its skill system, and a bunch of other more detailed things, but because it's all about combat, it's actually quite harsh, and there's a good chance that Gabriel wouldn't have survived any encounters that he got into, especially with me building the character in the way I wanted to build it. So I decided to go with a higher level character, where he's been a druid for a while, and is now taking levels in sorcerer, and now again in an alchemist class that I found on the internet, on the good old, actually I don't remember where I found it. It might have been on the D&D wiki, it might have been somewhere else. I think it's in the homebrew section here. But one thing I did do, thinking that I only really wanted to play with the one character, was I took the old 3rd Ed Shifter class, or the Master of Many Forms class, and at first level you get the ability to use your wild shape feature, your druid feature, to turn into a humanoid creature. So basically turned into an elf, and created another character for use in particular ways. I don't really have a good reason. what I was thinking at the time ended up being, here, have this. So, Gabriel created a new identity for himself as a elven lady, changed all his clothes, using things that he picked up in the bandit camp, and went out on the town trying to look for information about our vampire. His rationale is that he doesn't want... He's wanting to set himself up... He was wanting to set himself up as in a new life and not be known as an adventurer. He's wanting to eventually just assume this shopkeep role and go into that. I do believe I've let slip the one sort of thing that I had set out for this at the beginning was that he was running from his past. So he's gone, all right, if I'm going to be investigating problems and stuff and sticking my nose in other people's business, I want to be someone else. So that brings him to our reason, and so we went out, and I have actually completely failed to take notes. Usually I'll after a session I'll write up some notes for what happened, but I haven't done this time. I was hoping I'd be able to read them and remember everything. What I do have here is the rolls that we made. So I believe that she bumped into our new character Helestina bumped into a dwarven lady, possibly slightly older dwarven lady, who recognized the cloak she was wearing. Just wanted to know where she had gotten it, because I don't think that she liked the former owner, who is likely has likely been kidnapped by separatists. Anyway, they had a conversation. She's intrigued to find out why our character has her rival maybe's cloak. We don't really know too much about the that relationship, except that it's not a fond one. So, here we go. Lizdish would have been her name. So, she then went out looking for information. Couldn't find any information about the vampires. No one was either knew or was willing to tell her. But learn about the older merchant class. What she did find out was more about the older merchant class. So the Merchants Guild is actually quite new in the city. We've sort of discovered that the merchants were around and sort of, been there for a while, old family businesses, that kind of thing. Lots of connections with the theocracy, probably. That's just an assumption at this point. And newer merchants wanted to come into this city as the economy was growing and weren't finding it easy to get in. So they've banded together and started a guild, and there have been some tensions between the older established merchants who have been set up for a while, who refuse to join the guild because their standing wouldn't have been kept if they had. So we've essentially got these two rival factions in the city, which, now that Gabriel knows, he doesn't necessarily have to get a license to set up a shop. He might just be able to do so himself. However, he will have problems because the older merchant class, they wouldn't be hostile to him, but they wouldn't care either. And the doing things like that is not something the Merchant Guild would like, because who is this person who's setting up by themselves? That would erode their own standing, their own legitimacy. So, that does create options for Gabriel in his quest to set up a shop. Helestina also asked about the priesthood. Got some information about them. They like to drink late, apparently. They're not significantly embedded in the military. And then I think that we went and worked out some social classes by the look of it. So the city of Flyer Ridge is come up south of a ruined city, the city of Kolk, which is now a ruin because of something that's happened. That there's a castle there that has fallen to some other force, demonic or otherwise. I think I've described them as demonic in the past, but I haven't worked that out yet. But there is some other force that is killing anyone that goes near, and just sort of taking the land. And the government doesn't really... I suppose the world around, the country around, doesn't like this, and they don't know who they are. There's no communication set up between them. There's no demands. There's nothing. There's no motive that they can see. It's just everyone goes there and dies to some enemy, some monstrous horde. And so that's... The city is basically a base for adventurers and the military to try and contain that and go in there and take it back. They don't know if it was magic experiments gone wrong or what. They have no idea. They just know that the city is a ruin and something is coming out of the old castle. So we've got the priesthood and the merchants and the officer class, a warrior class, and a guard, and then sort of everyone else. So at that point, I think we gave up for the night and went back to see what else we could do. So I'm going to have a quick drink. And just reset my desk. Okay. Okay, so I guess the big question is how do we continue from here? So Gabriel's whole thing is that he wants to set up a shop. He has been looking for essence, but he sort of, I guess, feels like, oh, I've been looking for her now. I'm known to be looking for her now. I do have a bit of an interest in getting her back, though I'm not necessarily wanting to be known for doing that, which is part of the reason why he created this other identity. But he's now found out about the old merchants. And so he needs to make a decision about what to do there. His goal is to set up a shop. It's not to really do anything else. So he's got this situation where he needs to pick a side, essentially, between the old merchants who probably don't care about him at all, or they won't even know about him at this point, but when they find out about him, they're unlikely to care. And the Merchants Guild. So that's an interesting conundrum that he's going to have to make a choice about. No one's likely to help him look for essence. And he's actually had quite a bit of difficulty finding any information about the vampire disappearances. So he could go out as Celestina. Touching all the things. And try and gather more information about all of that. Or he could start asking around about the other merchants in the area and seeing if he can get involved with them. So I guess the first question is does Hornum, let's day 6, is it? Nope. Day 5. Oracle ask question. Does Hornum come to Gabriel with information? So Hornum did say to Gabriel that he would come to him if he could help. So there's going to be a very small chance every day that... whoops, I broke that. Oracle asked question, does bring Gabriel news? Small chance, no. So there's going to be a small chance every day that Hornum comes to Gabriel and says, hey, we've got this information, can you help out? Small chance, however, is very unlikely, so that doesn't happen. So, he's sort of come up with nothing that he can really do in public to look for essence now. So instead he's going to... Oh, now, does the barkeep... Now, the last thing that sort of happened was this elven lady tried to get back into the Absent Jackals, the merchant, the tavern that Gabriel's staying in, but had a bit of difficulty getting back to the back rooms. And I believe that she made the point that I mean that she actually asked for Gabriel in there. So, does anyone tell Gabriel that his friend was looking for him? 50-50. Yep. So, what was the bar? Grillcom. Grillcom comes up and tells him that his friend was looking for him. And Gabriel will thank him for that information, and say that he'll definitely have to catch up with her, and to let him know if he misses that, or if anyone else comes looking for him. Which, yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, Grillcrumb's probably like, oh, yeah, whatever, no worries. Sure, he's used to people leaving information for him, as he owns for guests at the tavern. But for some reason, I'm thinking that he's a little bit gruff about it. Anyway, so Gabriel is going to head into the town hall. So, what is the town hall? Let's have a look for... let's get random... Have I ever opened, like, Reddit? Behind the tables? Now, might be some cool things in there that I have to look at. Is this a newish post? Do I have, like, buildings? Quick city building. Okay, so random cities. Not quite what I'm after there. I'm instead wanting... ooh, shops, that's pretty cool. There's a few cool things here. City landmarks and districts. What I find in a shop. Type of shop. Owner of a shop. I know this is quite cool though. Uh, 1D50? Really? Shops. Alright, we'll probably give up on that because that's going to take forever. I could take forever looking on the internet for one of those. This is apparently what you get when you live stream. I'm not actually live, but I was going to have been until I discovered that I needed to wait 24 hours after clicking the live button before we could go live. Thank you. This is... whatever. That's just how YouTube works the first time you go live, apparently. So I think that we're just going to go into the town hall. It's going to be a wide, open building as opposed to sort of standing by itself, not built up into other buildings as much of the city is. There's a bit of space around it. And the center area is wide and open. Lots of desks and stuff for people to work at that can be easily moved aside and replaced with chairs to have town meetings and public. There's a wide square out the front to have even more things going on. So to have more people around when you're needing to make announcements to the city. So, from the town hall, he's going to walk in and he's going to meet someone. Someone's going to come up and address him and say, is there anything that we can do to help? And he's going to say, yes, actually, I'm looking for... what was the guy's name? Keljeon. I've been told that he often is around here on guild business. So I guess the question is Keljeon around? Or does the clerk know where Keljeon is? I'm going to say 50-50 because if the clerk doesn't know, the clerk is going to be able to find someone who does know. So we're just going to skip through that and go, clerk does know where Keljeon is. Is Keljeon at the town hall? And we're going to say 50-50 again. No. Of course he's not. But Keljeon does know, the clerk does know where Keljeon is. Is Keljeon at the guild? Likely? Okay, so we get redirected back to the guild. And told that Keljeon is down there today, not at the guild, not at the town hall. And so, where Gabriel will turn around and head back into the guild. And I think he will actually ask where in the guild, and be told whichever shop that he needs to go into. So he's going to head back to the guild, and simply we're just going to ask the Oracle, do we find Keljeon? And we're going to say it's likely. No, we don't find Keljeon there. So that doesn't mean he's not there. That just means he's not easily discoverable at this point. So I guess what we need to do is talk to some people that we know probably and see if we can get an introduction. So it makes sense that we go back to our friend Traran, who doesn't like us very much. And so we walk into the offices that Traran works from. And is Traran there? Are we able to meet Traran? Likely. Okay, so we go in, and Traran sees us, and we're able to ask for him, and Traran comes out and says, yes, you were here to about guild membership and licensing. You wanted an Alchemist license, didn't you? And Gabriel will say, yes, I am, and I'm here looking for Keljeon so that I can work at getting a license, getting an accreditation to get a license. I have been looking around these past few days, and particularly for Essence, because you said that she was usually around the guild, but, well, I've sort of discovered that she's thought to have gone missing. And so I guess the question is, does Traran want help finding Essence? Will Traran ask for help finding Essence? Now, I think that this is unlikely. Okay, so he won't. So he's just going to go, yes, well, that's very, very unfortunate. But we have everyone looking into that that we can. Now, you don't happen to know anything about that. And he'll say, well, no, I've been looking for it the last few days, and I noticed that no one was talking to me about it. But I've also heard the rumors and made some contacts in the guard, and we believe, he's like, yes, so the guard know as well. Brilliant. Yes, well, unfortunately, you won't be able to get her help, but Traran, will Traran introduce us to Keljeon? And I actually think this is unlikely. I don't think Traran really wants us to join up. He didn't like us from the outset. So he's done his bit and is not going to go out of his way. So Traran's not going to introduce us to Keljeon. And so when we say, well, we're looking for Keljeon, we've heard he is around, Traran will go, yes, he was around before. He's often around. If you haven't been able to find him, then he must be busy, or he might have left, he might have gone off elsewhere. So I guess the question is, can we find... it just basically says, is there anything else? So at this point... this is where our skills start to come in. I've been playing too much 5e, and now I can't find the third ed spells. They're still all about dungeon delving. Diplomacy isn't right. Diplomacy is about increasing someone's opinion of you. I don't really want to try intimidating members of the guild. I will actually roll sense motive. So let's see if we actually pick up on the fact that Traran doesn't want us around. 9. So what do I roll against? Void being bluffed. Odd. Okay, so he's not trying to bluff us. He's not. Not trying to bluff us. It's not. Diplomacy is not right. Yeah, these games are actually nicer in that they are because they were all about dungeon delving and stuff. They were because it was all combat and dungeon delving. The actual role playing stuff was actual role playing, partially with some things. Okay. That's not useful then. With a 9, we don't get anything. He's just cold. And he has done his bit. So he's going to... Gabriel's going to leave, and he's going to roll gather information. He's going to not talk so much to... particular people, but sort of ask around and just say, you know, has anyone seen Keljeon? Or should I be rolling like investigation? Yeah, no, there is no investigation skill. That's 5 ed, 5th ed. Let me just close all these. Okay, it's not search, is it? Gather information it is. DC 10 gets you a general thing about specific news. Find specific room or specific item, specific person. 15. I have a 15 on the die, so I make that because I'm pretty sure I have a positive modifier to that. Yeah, I do. Cool. So we find out, is Keljeon still at the guild? Maybe I'm asking too many questions in the Oracle. Likely, yes. So I think we find Keljeon. He's going to be at a shop, talking to someone in a back room, probably. And so I'm going to be told, here, go and see him here. We might have to wait a little bit, but when he emerges from a shop, someone will go in and say, oh look, there's someone coming, someone looking to speak to you. He will come out, and we finally get to meet Keljeon. So what What's happened here? That was weird. Helm just decided to open a second window. UNE. Character. Conversation. Neutral. So I've got a neutral conversation mood. Role, Oracle, UNE, NPC creator. It's not the creator that I want, it's role, Oracle, UNE. Importance. Okay, so I've just decided that our NPC is a scheming NPC. His conversation is going to be all about so it's just a negotiation between the two of us, and it's going to focus on rewards. The conversation is a neutral conversation and it's a sociable conversation. So he's happy to have a conversation. He's happy to learn who we are and learn about us. But he isn't going to do anything for free. It's going to be, what am I getting out of this? And what can I negotiate with you to get the most out of this for myself? So he's going to come up and say, yes, no, I've just been told that you would like to talk to me about something. And we will say, yes, thank you for seeing me. I'm new to the city. My name is Gabriel, and I'm training to be an alchemist. I'd like to set up a shop, and I've been told that I need to talk to yourself or Essence or what was the other guy's name? Or Carden Dreamfall about getting accreditation to get a license so that I can work towards that goal. He's going to take an interest in that. Oh, okay, so what sort of things are you looking at making? What are your goals there? And like, I just want to set up a shop, and I want to I believe that this is a good place for it. We've got quite the economy with adventure. The economy here is set up supporting adventurers that are dealing with an unknown hostile force. So anything that we can fight, we'd be able to make business we should be able to make a lot of healing salves and other things that they would find helpful, and provide those even to the guard and the military. So there should be a good way to go in that, and he's going to be keen on that and go, oh yes, now that's definitely something that we can do here. Now, I am quite busy. I am quite happy to help out with this. So, I need a tangible thing. What is a tangible thing that he wants? Do I have any other UNE, NPC, conversation mood, conversation importance, conversation creator? So his motivations are to steal opulence, assist discrimination, and to take beauty. Okay, just run that. Quit. So he's after wealth. He's after increasing his own standing in the city. He's after all of those things that make him look important. So, does Gabriel pick up on this? No. Rolling brilliantly. Gabriel's not going to pick up on this himself. He's going to talk to So in this, and he's going to say to him, well, that sounds really good. Have you picked out anywhere? Have you seen anywhere that you think that you could set up? And he's going to say, well, no, I haven't yet had that, but I'd be happy to take some advice on that, because I don't want to set up next to anyone and then compete directly, where obviously we need to be able to spread the work out. We don't want to harm the economy or anyone else's business. Like, yes, those are all very, very well and good. You're new to the city and you don't really know anyone else here. I mean, I'm always happy to help for a fee. I am quite busy, but I am happy to at least provide you with some certification for something. I'd very much, of course, will have to take some sort of payment for that. And that's going to be reasonably expensive, or we could do a deal for when you set up a shop I could take portions of profit, and of course I would be very interested in helping you succeed if that's the case. Or, if there is something else that I can help with. So is he looking for essence? Or does he want something else? What am I doing? That's not what I wanted. I want an oracle ask question. Is Keljeon looking for essence? And I'm going to say 50-50. Keljeon is looking for essence. Okay. So they're going to have a bit of a chat, and Keljeon is going to realize that Gabriel has been looking for essence. And not only that, he will have probably heard that Gabriel was involved in fighting the bandits. And possibly have worked out that he was a former adventurer. How old does Gabriel look? So Gabriel's like 20 years old. So he's actually quite D&D worlds, fantasy worlds, everyone, all based off older medieval European cities. Often this setting is, because it's quite standard fantasy, so coming of age is about 15, so it's not unreasonable for him to have had a bit of experience in it as an adventurer at this point. And so he's going to say, oh yes, so I've heard that you were a little bit of an adventurer. Would you be able to help out looking for essence? Obviously you already have been, But we have determined that she's gone missing, and we're looking for people that we can rely on to bring her back. Of course, as a member of the guild, we have to look after each other, and if you're wanting to join us, it would be very good if you could help out. I am actually involved in looking for her myself, and so I'd be very, very interested in working with you if that's the case. And so this is the point where Gabriel does need to make a decision about how much he's willing to work on this himself. And I think that he will say, yes, I can help out, and I have another friend who's come to the city as well, who is a bit more of an adventurer. I think she's more interested in being an adventurer, so I can definitely introduce you as well, her to you as well. She will also be useful, I think. And he'll go, oh yes, very, very good. The more help, the better. I think that he's very much thinking about it from, if I can be the one that breaks this case. Do they suspect? So, does he have any suspicions? Does he have any suspicions? Does he think that it is one of the old merchants? Let's be real there. No. Oh, okay. Does he have any actual leads? He doesn't have any actual leads either. Okay. So Kelgen doesn't have any leads, but he's looking for it. So he's recruiting us into that, and we're going to say yes, we will help out. But he's got to have. So he doesn't have any tangible leads. And so they're going to start discussing the fact that they think that a vampire is involved. And now I'm pretty set that the vampire is going to be either in the Old Merchants Guild or it's going to be in the priesthood. Whatever will work out better for the story will be where it is. But it's probably one of those two places. We're going to go with the old stereotypes about vampires having some sort of nobility to them, hiding in the nobility. So it'll be in one of the higher social classes. And so at this point, working for Keljeon, looking for essence, he's going to actually get information about this from the guild. Do they have any information? Likely. So they do have some information. They know where she was. We'll say that she went missing. Did she go missing at the guild? I'm asking too many questions. I think I really am asking too many questions. 50-50. So she didn't go missing from the guild. I think that she went missing on her way home. She's been at the guild at the day and then at whatever shop that she runs there, and has left. Gone back to her house and has never been seen again. Actually, was she seen out on the town? On the town. Okay, she was seen out on the town. So we're going to... I think what he's going to do is he's going to go with us. No, he's going to send us. He wants us to do the work, I think. So he's going to send us to the tavern where she last went to. Oh dear. She didn't go to the... I think that she probably went to the Absent Jackals. I think that she was in that... No, I'm not even asking about that. That's too perfect. First night there, she went out with some friends of hers to have a girls' night out. They had a little bit of trouble with some drunk men at the Absent Jackals, one of whom got thrown out of the tavern by a guard. And that was where she was last seen. So, we're going to get sent looking for her friends. And at this point, I believe I've been going for over an hour. We did take quite a while to do a recap and find a bit of direction there, but I am going to call it there. And now that we've got a bit of direction, we should be a lot faster to move on in the next session with a little bit more certainty. I felt like I was floundering around a little bit there throughout. And I think that I was probably over-reliant on a yes-no oracle until I had some leads that I needed to snap to, that I was able to snap to. So, yeah, hopefully the next time I do this, I'm actually doing it live. I'm going to have to work out how to do that with setting up a live chat and everything in case people would like to contribute. I think that this is actually a good format for chat engagement. Is when I come up with questions, I will be able to interact with chat and get some input. But yeah, let me know if you've got any feedback. I've tried out music for the first time. Thank you to is it Creative Cow, the Lo-Fi girl, for basically allowing people to play their music on streams. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye.